Welcome to another edition of Anglican Unscripted. This is a special edition, episode 924. I'm Kevin Kallsen.
And I'm Father Jerry Kramer.
All right, welcome to a special episode of Anglican Unscripted. We're going to have a report from the field, so to speak. We've had Jerry on back when he was helping with a certain Hurricane Katrina many years ago. And I want to ask our viewers who may have hints of other things, do not put them in the comments. That would be really helpful to this interview. Jerry, welcome back to the U.S. And let's talk a little bit about July 4th, 2025. There was a flood that hit the western central side of Texas and caused devastation. You're certainly familiar with flooding devastation, but this rain in about 45 minutes rose the Guadalupe River 26 feet. It wiped out many camps, Christian camps. It decimated 4 or 5 counties. And as of today, 135 people have died, and we're still looking for probably another 60.
No, actually, we started the week at about 160 missing.
Okay.
But we don't know. They haven't reported this week. I do know they have been finding bodies this week. They're making a big push. Mm-hmm. But also, we'll never know the real number because that's the weekend where families camp along the Guadalupe, and people were washed away. So we'll probably never really know what that number is.
Yeah. Now, when things like this happen, usually the first people to arrive are ministers and first responders. And what kind of role do they play in this? This
is kind of an unprecedented response. I've been doing this for about 25 years, mm-hmm. And I'm talking to people every day at the front line, really allowing first responders, which I am, down in Hunt. And so I'm talking to people who've been doing this longer than I have. We've never seen anything like it. It's not disorganized, it's non-organized. And there's a difference. It's really, really organic. So it's basically local communities organizing through the volunteer fire department normally, and then the first responders kind of coming down, and just we have tremendous help, and they're moving really, really fast. Like, we've never seen how fast the kind of a response has unfolded like this. We're doing. There's a community called Bumblebee just outside Hunt with 26 houses. They are today where it took us 4 years in New Orleans to get. Their houses are fully mucked. They are rebuilding. I mean, they're rising right back up again, and we've never seen it. But it's been this incredible grassroots response. The churches are doing great in Kerrville. Really, really incredible response from the churches there, taking care of the displaced and people. And really, that's where the church is making a huge difference, is right now, particularly in Kerrville.
Now, it's making a great response. What you were a first responder, you remember the trauma and the PTSD of Hurricane Katrina. That's something that slowly takes on an aspect of the lifestyle of first responders. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so for sort of every hour, things change. And my role right now is basically when the people kind of on the river and supporting them need something, they scream and yell, and I have to find it for them yesterday. Mm-hmm. And last week I think it was Thursday, they needed 150 box cutters and trauma counselors for the first responders, because, they're finding bodies, children, not intact. It's pretty brutal, pretty traumatic. The problem with first responders, speaking personally, is we don't ask for help and don't receive it very well. bringing down 12 counselors this week for the first responders, but the challenge will be finding ways to get them to talk. Like if you tell us, like, this is trauma care, we won't, and nobody wants to talk about their amygdala. So you have to be a little bit wise in how you do it, and just sort of start conversations and make it non-imposing, non-threatening. So that's what's going on with the first responders. Very great question. Very strong need there right now. Addressing it's tricky. PTSD doesn't kick in until year 3. So, and that's and kind of coaching the community that year 3, well, month 3, everybody will have forgotten about you. The media's moved on, everybody's moved on. So year 3 in New Orleans, we had one street, 1 week, 5 suicides, including a staff member. 500,000 people back in New Orleans who were just completely in trauma. And everybody had left us. We were on our own. And so probably the biggest single thing that we did not have in Katrina was mental health care. And so I'm sort of bringing that issue up now, how we're like to be ready for it, anticipate it, and prepare when the resources aren't there and everybody's moved on, and then it's going to be bad. So we're talking about that right now at the church level, because I think honestly this is cleaned up pretty fast, like relatively fast. They're really like they're moving homes already. They shouldn't be doing this. We're doing frontline relief and triage and mucking at the same time, and I think rebuilding is getting started. Those should be kind of staged and stretched out, spread out over months, if not years, and they're doing it all in the first 2 weeks. So I think we're going to get through this pretty relatively quickly. We have a lot of help. The outpouring's been amazing, but I'm thinking 2-3 years down the line what this is going to look like.
Well, you mentioned that the press leaves and you're pretty much abandoned, obviously, Katrina, but the news cycle now is so much different. We run a 5 to 6 hour news cycle, and what happened in Texas remarkably lasted 72 hours nationwide. It lasted 24 hours globally in the news cycle. You're only getting small hits now on the Weather Channel, and then the nightly news will give you 90-second blurbs. You have largely already been abandoned by national news.
Yeah, what's countering that is just the unbelievable response of people, Americans. We had a team of 13 from the Czech Republic show up the other day with cadaver dogs to help out. But I mean, we have churches have rolled in from all over the place, and they're staged in at the Hunt, right in downtown. Well, what's left of kind of the main square, main area in Hunt. I think we have 5 different churches setting up cooking operations there. So the volume of the people who have come in to help is just absolutely extraordinary. Part of what was helping Katrina, the nearest city to us that was functional really was probably like Houston, maybe Mobile, which is 6 hours away. And here we have Kerrville, which is normally 30 minutes away, is dry. Kerrville is largely fine. So, you can come in there, you can stage, and then you can get it done. What's really interesting is I have not seen any FEMA workers out. The only place we have seen FEMA doing things is I think they were allowed to bring the checkbooks and do kind of casework to help people who are uninsured, underinsured on their homes. Like they can do that, but I don't think FEMA was allowed to send their kind of worker crews in because they're not here, and normally they are, and they're conspicuously absent.
Well, Texas is its own nation.
It's so different. I mean, honest to God, it's so different. In New Orleans, it was everybody kind of throwing their hands up going, help. And here it's like they're running for chainsaws and rakes. They were, we weren't even dry yet, and they were digging out and rebuilding and mucking, and so it's interesting. So I'm all about grassroots and subsidiarity. So like I said, it's not disorganized, it's non-organized. So localities are running it, and they don't want anybody them bothering them or making decisions. They're very clearly in control of it, and it's sort of local, which has made it incredibly efficient. So responders, relief people are coming in, finding these places, these localities, resourcing them. Like I'm at Hunt every day at the volunteer fire department, and there are just so many people in there helping right now and bringing stuff in. It's just incredible. There's always downside. The downside of the way this is unfolding, so it's very fast, very efficient, very, very good, but nobody really knows what's going on. We don't. You're just got tunnel and you're working on your locality. And so you really don't know anything more than what's happening in your particular place right now.
Which is the same that happened in Katrina. Nobody really knew for weeks,
Yeah, except we're getting stuff done here really, really fast and efficiently. But, stuff like, New Orleans was underwater for 3 weeks. We couldn't even think about getting back into the city. Like Katrina hit right at the end of August, and I don't think they let people in for look and leave visits until like maybe October, late October, if I remember right. So very fast, very efficient response, really, really well done at the local level. The challenge, so nobody knows really what's going on. That's a problem. And the other is survivors, people who've had damage or displaced. Nobody really knows sort of what all the resources are. So, if you've been displaced, whatever, there's not like a list of, I need FEMA for this, I need this for counseling, I need this for clothes. We don't have that. We're trying to get the local churches in Kerrville to work together and put together sort of a comprehensive list of what do you do and what do you have. And we had a meeting last week. It was the first meeting of all the churches who wanted to play together, came together. And every church had information that the other churches did not have. So we're trying to sort of get that on paper and get that documented. And the victims are getting their information off social media. So you have to find out what's going on and then get it up on Facebook.
That's absolutely crazy. Now let's talk about survivors. They also are going to go through the trauma, the survivorship trauma. How does the church respond to them?
It was really interesting. So we had our first church meeting last week, and I shared with them that probably one of the only outside groups that was really helpful to us in Katrina, kind of major groups, national groups, were the counselors who did 9/11.
Sure.
And they told us where we were in the trauma cycle. That kind of helped. Like, we're here, get your bearings. Like, you've been through this is coming up. That was good. But they told us that the clergy who did really well in the first part of early days of 9/11 were carried out in body bags at about the 2-year mark. And so, right there, I think the best part of our clergy meeting last week was just for them to get up and say, I'm not okay. That was really important. And I told them, A, to not be okay. So they're having survivor guilt, and you're getting secondary trauma. And so that's going on right now. And I said, we can't fix this right now, but we need to be really aware of it. The longest a frontline relief coordinator lasted in Katrina was about 3 months, and then they'd crack up. Yeah. So lessons learned is, clergy, you've got to keep an eye on the clergy and eye on their mental health and well-being. Very much so people at the front line. Already the kind of leaders on the front lines have that look, and I know that look, and it's a cross between half psychotic and about ready to burn out, and they've already got it. And I I know that look because I had it, and we're kind of getting there. So, like I said, we got to work with first responders, frontline energy, and then the community. 3 years out. The real wound, the heartache there. Well, first of all, everybody, absolutely, it's a small knit community. Everybody there, we have family there. Everybody knows either somebody who has perished or somebody who was related to someone who was lost. I mean, there's 1 degree of separation for all of us. But I think the epicenter of the heartache is Camp Mystic. So I think we're looking at 35 funerals for Mystic. I helped out at the first one last weekend for an 8-year-old girl. 1,200 people showed up, and we just have a lot more ahead. And it was just incredibly sad, just incredibly tragic. So the heartache is really centering around Mystic. They actually, it was yesterday, screamed and yelled for help. So we were able to get a lot of stuff over to them late yesterday and first thing this morning. But I think Mystic is kind of the epicenter of the heartache in Kerr County right now.
Now, I saw online there's several ACNA clergy and volunteers on site. Bishop Jillian Dobbs is down there. Are you having coordination with the other Anglican clergy?
No, we're doing what we do. So they're great. ARDF is fantastic. They're really, really good, and they're doing great work, and we really trust them. We are working with we're building a coalition of local churches. So I put my sort of effort into that. And then again, because we have family in Hunt, I've been right down busy in Hunt alongside family members, basically working on the front line. So we just moved to Hunt day before yesterday. So we're right about a mile, staying about a mile from the epicenter, and can just kind of roll down the street and get right to work. So the volunteer fire department was the epicenter of everything, and it was really chaotic. And so they've moved out. The clothes and stuff have gone down the street around the corner of a big real estate office, and then they've moved all the food preparation over to where the Hunt store used to be. So basically they've kind of pushed chaos out so they can get really focused on command and control. And they're great. I went to see the guy who's in charge, and I just said, "Hey, we're here to help." And he gave me, everybody wants to help. And I'm like, "No, I'm serious." So he's like, "Well, you're probably crazy." And sure, like, let's sit down. And he said, "What are we talking about here?" And I said, "What can't you get? Like, what do you need that you don't think you can get, but you really, really need it?" And he said, "Oh my God, we need a Polaris side by side desperately." And like, we had it to him in 24 hours, and he couldn't believe it. And like, firemen are tough guys. They're usually big, really, really tough guys. And I mean, they were tearing up when we told them the side by side was coming within 24 hours. So that's what we're doing. We're basically all over Hunt right now, very, very at the front lines, and just helping with first responders. And then I don't know what we're going to do next.
Sure. Well, let's finish up with, what do you need?
We need prayer, really. I mean, we have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of people. We have a lot of stuff. I think it's evolving, and it's kind of a moving target. Really moving fast is, we learned in Katrina, Walmart cards are really a good thing to give people, because when people have trauma, they get stuck. They can't make basic decisions. So instead of giving them a shirt, give them a Walmart card, and they have to decide between like short sleeve, long sleeve, blue, red. So I think those are people who are doing Walmart cards are those are great things to do right now, because they're gonna need that for a long time. It's not going to change. Very helpful. Helps them make decisions. Really good. ARDF is a great place to send money as well. And then, but we're doing okay with stuff. We really need prayer. I mean, this is a really broken community. We're doing relief and mucking and all this stuff at the same time with this incredible amount of heartache.
Sure.
I mean, just deep, deep, painful sorrow in this community right now. Like, we all knew each other. We know people who lost children. Everybody knows everybody, and it's just heartache. So it's not to be trite, and I'm sincere. I mean, we really need to pray for Kerr County, for the people there, because it's just been, devastating.
Well, I want to thank you for your time, and just like with Katrina, we hope to get constant updates every couple weeks to be sure that we're attending to your needs and you're able to attend to other people's needs. And
fantastic.
And in the end of the day, we pray that God would be abundant in this, and that He would that we would find a way to praise Him in this.
I mean, we're seeing the goodness of God and the goodness of God's people every day. The response has been just mind blowing to everybody. I've told them that this is going to be the church's finest hour, and in Kerr County, and we're definitely seeing that.
God bless. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and keep up the holy and righteous work, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thanks, brother.